Hey guys, we're still down here in the workshop. We're having the time of our lives down here. So we're just gonna keep making videos, and I wanna show you this. This is what they call a strawberry fork. It's something you've probably never seen. They don't make them anymore. This one is probably from the 1920s, maybe even older than that. So this thing's 100 years old. Now it has 3 tines. They call it a strawberry fork. A lot of people call them cocktail forks or pickle forks, but they're not. This is a strawberry fork or lemon fork. And I like them because it has these 3 long, petite tines. And I can do a lot with these tines. And it also is one of my most popular fork rings. And I'm going to show you the process of making one of those fork rings right now. So let's get started. So I got to come over here. And the first thing I want to do is flatten that curve. We have a curve in it. And I'm going to flatten that. You got to be careful. It's sterling silver. It's very petite, kind of fragile, so I'm not hitting it all that hard. Just kind of getting it. I want it flat so I can work with these tines a little bit easier. I'm going to try not to break it. I've never had one break, but it always makes me nervous because they're so petite. So now I've got it flattened out, and I want to take it to. I want to get some heat on it. I like to heat these tines up a little bit. I'm going to use these little pliers here so I don't have to hold it with my fingers. I've made that mistake before. And so we're going to take the old torch here and we're going to heat that up. We're going to focus that heat right here on these tines. Just kind of get it pretty hot. I don't need to heat it up. I've made plenty of them without heat, but it's a little bit easier if you heat it up. And it don't take very long. It's pretty stinking hot right now. And so we're gonna just do it a little bit longer here. Yeah, all right. That should do it. So now, I'll take it over here to the water because it's pretty hot. And cool that down. Should be able to touch it now. All right. Now, I'm gonna show you. We'll try to get pretty close so I can show you kind of the process. I'll show you. Let's see. I'm gonna do. I'm really bad about putting my tools in different places, so I'm gonna come right over here by Donnie, and we'll kind of get. I'll show you what I'm doing here. So here we got the tines. Like I said, there's 3. 1, 2, 3, and I got one of my tools here, and I got to pull these out. So I'm gonna pull. Just kind of pull these outside 2 tines. Just get them out. I don't know if you can see that. Just kind of like that. And then we'll flip it over and we'll do the other outside tine. Just slowly, you know, kind of easy to where it looks something like a chicken foot. Like that. So now I've got it to where I can kind of work with it. And so what I'm going to do, I just take these little bitty pliers right here, and I just start with one on the very end here. I'm just going to start bending just like this. I make it look really easy, but you kind of got to be careful. And so I just want to make a loop. It's going to make a little small loop right here, itty bitty. And just kind of keep working that around. This is going to be kind of hard to see. It's so tiny. I'll try to put I don't know if you can see that, but very small. So just like that. And I've got it a little off kilter, as they say. So I'm gonna take these pliers and just kind of squeeze that down. So now they're nice and even. And so I got my first loop there. Okay. And so then I'm gonna do the second loop. So you just kind of right there, kind of where I finished with the first one. All right. I'm just gonna take that and just bring that back. So now you got something like this. And then I'm going to do it one more. If I can get, there we go. Just going to do that one more time. Just like that. Okay, and so we're starting to look something like this. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the other outside tine. Again, same loop. Okay, slowly just kind of bend that. Get that loop going. I'll try to make it even this time. There we go. Just a little bit more. And there's all kinds of things you can do from here. There's all kinds of things. With these pliers, I mean, you can do, there's so many different things. All right, so bring that back. So just like I did with the first one. And then one more time, just like that. Get my tools out of there. Now, I'm gonna take those 2 tines and I'm gonna bring them kind of out here. And I'll show you what that looks like just a second here. All right, so now it looks kind of like this right here. That's what the first 2 look like. Okay, now what I like to do is, now I'm gonna bring this last one, just gonna bring it over to one side, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which way you go, which side you go, it doesn't matter. So something like this, and right back to your pliers again, same kind of loop. So just gonna do that. Again, just kind of slow and steady. You don't have to torque on it or anything, just kind of slow and steady. Get that loop going. I'll go just a little bit more. All right. And then right back the other way, just like we did on the first 2. So now, and then this one gets a little bit tougher because the other 2 are kind of in the way. Like this one's kind of in the way now, but it'll work out. Okay, so now I'm gonna squeeze that with my hand. You can do a lot with your own hand, your own fingers, because they're so petite. So I'm just gonna push that down right about in there. And so now I'm gonna bring that one out, and I'll show you that here in just a second, what the 3 look like when they're pulled out here. And again, it doesn't have to be anything. It's hard to make 2 exactly alike. I think that would be very difficult. I can make one similar to the one I'm making right now, but they'll never be the exact same. That would be pretty hard. Nothing I make is exactly like the one before it. So let's take a little bit I'm gonna flatten that just a little bit. And so I'm gonna show you here in just a second what it kind of looks like right now. It looks like a squiggly kind of mess. So here's kind of what it looks like right now. And believe it or not, that is going to be a fork ring. All right, so I'm gonna get a little bit of measurement right here. It's just kind of simple. It's written here on my workbench here, just to kind of give me a vague, just kind of an idea of what size it's gonna be or what size I kind of want it to be. All right, so got it marked here. We're gonna come over to the cutter. See there, it's kind of in the, yeah. So I'm gonna go to the cutter here and just cut that. That's pretty quick. There's 2 pieces right there. So I'm gonna keep this for an earring. This will be a little earring once I find a mate to it. All right, I'm gonna trim these corners. I like to do that. Just makes it a little bit easier when you're take it to the belt sander. So we're gonna take this over to the belt sander real quick. The old familiar belt sander. And ouch, try not to get my fingers. That would be nice. First time I ever did that. And if you believe that, you're very gullible. All right, so now I'm gonna take it to the buffer. Like I always say, you want to get that in where you cut it nice and smooth. Nice and smooth. You want that ring to feel really good when you put it on. And nice and smooth. All right, we'll take it over to the water, cool it down. And so now I'm gonna take this right here to the ring bender. And so I'm gonna turn this into a fork ring. And so it's kind of like you would make your other rings. It's very similar. I kind of use the same setup, same tools. And you just start bending just like you would if you were making a spoon ring. And it's pretty amazing how it turns out. And I make a lot of fork rings. I got all kinds of fork rings. But this is my best seller. This is the best one. It's very petite. It's just beautiful. It's sterling silver. And when you see it, you will understand. It's a beautiful ring. So we're just about there, just like that. And this is kind of a ring that I would wear on your pointer finger or middle finger, especially your pointer. And that's because it can flow to the outside of your pointer finger and you can really show this thing off. It's so pretty. I'm gonna make sure it's nice and round, which I can already tell it's pretty good. So, but just gonna put on the mandrel, kind of hammer down just a little bit. Yeah, it was pretty good before. I think it's good. So I'm gonna take it to the buffer one more time and really polish it, make it look really good, and then I'll show you where you at. Oh, see, yep. So I will show you the finished product here in just a second. So let's take it to the buffer and make it look nice and shiny, nice and pretty. I'm gonna show you the finished product. I think you're gonna like it. I know a lot of people have. I've sold a lot of these. And we'll show it on, maybe we'll put it on Carissa's finger and you can see it on a much prettier finger than mine and see what you think. All right, so I'm gonna cool this down. Cool this down and we'll take it over here. I'll show you this finished product and then we'll show you, we'll put it on Carissa's finger here in a minute. Carissa's behind the camera, one of the cameras. We'll put it on her hand because mine, yeah, you don't want to see it on mine. But anyway, we'll put it on mine just for a second. And that's kind of what it looks like. It's just a really pretty fork ring out of sterling silver. All right.